shirt if you could afford it, that type of thing, and that would be it. That was in the 90s when I was going, and that carried on. It wasn't a fashion thing then, but now wearing a retro shirt is a fashion icon now.
And there's more scope for individual artists like yourself, and being an individual artist to an extent, you don't need to sell 1 million.
Yn hanesyddol, y chwaraeon Cymraeg yng Nghymru oedd y tîm rygbi. Mae hwnna rili wedi mynd. Ac ymhellach, tîm pêl-droed Cymru sy'n cymryd y fantol. Mae plethu'r iaith gyda pêl-droed cenedlaethol. Mae hwnna'n stori hanner.
Fire in the heart, ice in the mind. That's Sophie Ingle to a T.
She has that fire inside of her.
I think she's a bit of a silent assassin, really.
But she's a winner, and she is someone I always think you want in your dressing room.
She's really inspiring. She inspires me. I think she inspires every one of our team. We look up to her, and she is the leader of the group.
No, I never doubted my ability. I think if you go back to Liverpool, I think it was seven games, 8th game I scored for Liverpool for my first goal. But I think the difference then at Liverpool, we were sort of winning and or drawing, so it didn't really worry me. But when you go 7 games for Wales without scoring and you're not winning, and that's when you start thinking. But I always believed in my own ability inside me. So once you get that first goal, you're off and running, And I was really happy when I got my first goal for Wales.
That's good. That's a good start. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Welsh Football Fans Live. We are live across Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and anything else we can possibly get our hands on to do some live streaming. I am indeed Alex Finney, and I'm here strictly for the eye candy. So, I've had that intro in my head literally all day. You've ruined it. Accompanying me today, we needed somebody down to earth. Plain. Come on, God, if you like. Fresh from LA, we welcome to the show Gabrielle Jukes, everybody.
Thank you. Well, pleasure to be back on Welsh Football Fans Live, and of course, we are just days away now from the Euro 2024 qualifiers. I can't wait. I can't believe that international football is back, by the way.
It's uncanny, yeah, because it feels like ages. It feels like, well, we haven't done this for a while. There was like a World Cup, but we don't talk about that anymore. We've kind of moved on from that. But now, yeah, we're back into it. There's a whole new era, a whole brave new world that we're moving into. So we're going to look at that. We've got the Euro qualifiers coming up. So it's Croatia this weekend, then it's Latvia next week. We are going to talk about who's in, who's out, who's retired, all of that sort of stuff. We are joined by three, quite frankly, legendary guests. Let's introduce them. First one is a man that we've all come to know as Lee Trundle, because that's his name. It's Lee Trundle. And our second guest today is contractually obliged not to mention the words liver or pool in the same sentence. It's Rupert Vines, everybody. And third in line is a man who we quite frankly had forgotten all about. And that's a running gag throughout this entire show, and you'll find out why later on in the programme. It's Dave Roberts, everybody. How are you guys? You all right? Let's start with you. You well?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Rupert?
Yeah.
Rupert's rocking a her game too.
Yes,
Like it. Dave didn't get his hoodie in the post.
Sorry.
Yeah. But Euros.
We've got so much to talk about, you know. We're about to find out what his life is like without Gareth Bale, without Joe Allen, and all the rest. So much has changed. It's a new era, isn't it?
Are you worried?
Do you know what? I think it was a time where you're waiting for it to happen, isn't it? And I think it probably happened at the wrong time with the World Cup, where you sort of knew that these players, it was going to be their last one. So I think you've got to look at it as exciting times. Okay, you've got legends of the games that have gone out, but you've got these young kids coming up now who's got to go and take the mantle.
Yeah, there's plenty of new kids coming through, isn't there? And you know, like the likes of Ollie Cooper. He went on the plane to Qatar with Wales. What do you make of that call-up?
Yeah, I was disappointed that he never got in the World Cup squad. I understood why it happened, but I'm pleased for him. He's been one of the best players for Swansea this season. You know, the ability that he's got. He's brilliant, and he'll go into the Welsh squad, and I'm sure he'll take to that like a duck to water.
What about you, Rupert? What do you make of the new team announcement from Rob Page? A lot of changes in there, especially in the last few days as well, with injuries. You know, Wayne Hennessy's out, Tom King in. What do you make of the new team?
I think, like Lee said, it is an exciting time. You know, we've got to just go with it now. Whoever wears that shirt, they're going to have we're going to have their backs. But yeah, it's obviously the wrong time for a transition period, I think. You know, the Euro qualifiers is going to be really tough, and it's going to be some graft for these players, but I'm just hoping that they don't feel the pressure.
Tell me when there's a good time for a transition.
I mean, never really. But,
See?
I mean, Nations League, have a transition period then, but obviously, you know, the timing of all these fixtures not been ideal.
The Nations League came at a difficult time, especially last year, though, didn't it? What about you, Dave? What are you making of all these new changes? You know, losing Gareth Bale.
Yeah, I think there's legends to be made, isn't there? And youngsters coming through. We don't know the full capacity of their ability. The only way you can find out is play them. And I think the manager's got the confidence of the players. I can really see a way forward, especially with young kids as well.
And a lot of them are very young, about 18 years old. So many of them come in through. But with Croatia on Saturday, obviously a brilliant team. They've had a brilliant year. Are we worried about that game? Obviously, that's probably the most important game in the group, I'd say, Croatia away. Are we worried going into that?
I think you've got to be, because they've got the experience over the last 6 or 8 years. You know, they've played in 2 World Cups and they've done extremely well. But the young kids in Wales are going to learn from it, and by experience, by playing again. You can't hide in international football. You've got to go up against them, and I'm sure these kids will grab it. Whether they get results or not is another thing, but they're going to be learning all the time.
And so speaks the voice of a man who not only played Croatia, but the rest of Yugoslavia. So he knows a thing or two.
Yeah, you definitely know.
Yeah. Right, your comments, as ever, are also very, very important to us as well. So if you're commenting on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, then for your sake and mine, make it interesting, because otherwise I'm not going to read it out. So, yeah, that's just your warning. We'll get to those later on in the programme then. So we've lost Bale.
We've lost Bale.
We've lost Joe Allen.
Joe Allen, obviously Chris Gunter, but he's now a part of the backroom coaching staff, which is quite an interesting appointment, I'd say. But he's been an integral part, hasn't he, in Wales for so many years.
I can't imagine a Wales squad without a Gunter. Look at that.
Yeah, Johnny Williams.
That's my
it's quite sad actually, isn't it?
I think if you look at Chris as well, going on to the backroom staff, it just shows what he gave to the squad off the field as well. You know, and that's a massive part of it. You know, we've been involved in squads. Sometimes, I'm not saying this about Chris because he was an excellent player, but sometimes you could have people in the background who are integral to what they do off the pitch, but might not have a big impact on it. But with Chris, you know, he done that on the field for them as well, and I'm pleased that he can still come in and still give that bit of knowledge, because as you say, what you've lost there, you know, there's some massive players. But I also think when these young lads coming through as well, sometimes the bigger players can stop these younger personalities and they want to play in within themselves a little bit. Now the likes of your Bale, your Joe Allens have dropped out. These young kids now are going to think, well, this is my time to shine and push on, and then it helps them grow.
I think the massive loss for the squad at the moment is Ben Davies. Because any of the games that I've seen him, he is like 7 or 8 out of 10, and he controls the back and marshals everything. And I think somebody's got to take it up now. Ampadu might be able to do it because he's a very good player and he's underrated. And I'd like to see him come forward. Joe Rodon looks as though he's getting regular games in France. He's another outstanding player when he's given a chance. Just hope those two can come through and solidify the back, because you've got to be strong at the back when you go away.
And I think even so, they've got a little bit of experience with them as well, haven't they, to help these young kids coming through. And you know, as you say, with Ben, there was talk of him about becoming the captain as well, so it shows how important he is to the squad.
Yeah. Dave, can we get that photo back, actually? There's one thing I wanted to point out on this, and have we figured out how much we're going to miss Joe Allen? Because it feels to me like I just don't think we're going to miss Bale, he's going to move there. But he's such an underrated player. He's always been there. He's Mr. Consistent. He's up and down the park.
He has, and I think if you look at the likes of Bale and other players around him, Joe is someone who will make them tick as well. You know, he's someone who breaks play up, probably does the side of things which people outside of football wouldn't see. You know, and he is going to be a massive loss, because what a player he's been for the clubs that he's been at and country as well.
It's going to be interesting. I think it's one of those that you're not going to realise it until now they've gone. Now we're going to realise the importance of these players for the past or how many years for Wales. And another player, of course, we have to mention, Helen Ward, Wales' top goal scorer.
Still
top goal scorer ever, 44 goals in 105 appointments. She's recently retired, announced her retirement, and what an important part of women's football in Wales Helen Ward has been.
And both teams are going through this transition. I know the new generation and the women's team as well. I think that in that regard they're probably a little bit ahead. Granger's had to, they went to Penatar and they brought in a couple of the new faces there. So
against the transition, and I think Helen was probably one of the last females of that generation to experience football for women as it was, before. It's sad to see her go, but she's really paved the way, I think, in Sri Rupa for women's football.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like you just said, I think football in Wales has developed for both men's football and women's, and the likes of Helen Ward, we've got Jess Fishlock as well. They are paving the way for this new generation, and they are going to face a similar situation to the men's team at some point, where a bunch will go at once and they do have that transition period. But just got to ride that wave, haven't you?
Yeah, that's so true. And I guess, especially with the men's team now, we've got the attention on Brennan Johnson. Unfortunately, it's a bit uncertain whether he'll actually play Croatia on the weekend with his injury, but do you think he's going to cope with that pressure of, some people comparing him to the new Gareth Bale? Do you think he'll cope with that?
See, I think it's the same again, like I said before, then it gives you a chance where you sort of have to step up, and where you're not you're not comparing yourself to Gareth Bale in the squad now. He's moved out of it. So then, you know, these kids and the younger and the players there will have to have that confidence to go up and say, well, listen, I'm going to be counted on now. So I wouldn't see that that being a problem for him. You know, obviously we're talking about Gareth Bale, so it is different to step into someone's shoes. And I don't think you will ever, or any Welsh fan, I don't think you'll think, I'm going to take Gareth Bale's place, because I think that's impossible to do. It's just you've got to go in, be yourself, and give your best out on the pitch.
Yeah, I guess it's an amazing opportunity for them now to create their own history, as Aaron Ramsey, the new captain of Wales, has said.
I think these guys will welcome the challenge.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? You know, Brennan Johnson getting mentioned in the same breath as Gareth Bale, and he's going to welcome the challenge. And young kids, we've done it, Liam, you know, when we were young. Long time ago.
When we were young,
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you know, you welcome the challenge. If a manager came to you and said, I want you to take this task on, and it's important to the team, you grab it with both hands. And if it doesn't come off, you go back and practice again until it does, you know, does come right.
Yeah.
I think as well, he's built his career, you know, with the likes of Gareth Bale, and now he's at that point where he knows his quality. He's played really well for Forest. I saw him score those 2 goals against Everton. Absolutely incredible. You know, he can hold his own, and you know, hopefully he just carries on doing that for Wales.
And a guy you mentioned there is he was captain, then he wasn't captain. He's now captain again.
Yes.
Aaron Ramsey is the skipper. Have we got a clip, David? Have we got a clip with Aaron Ramsey? Excellent. Let's play that.
Let's have a look.
It's been a long time since I last had it, and a lot's changed in that period of time. So, no, I feel like I'm ready for it now. I've learned a lot over the years. I was 20 years old when I last had it, so of course, it's a very unusual experience at the time. One that I was be forever grateful for from Gary, but yeah. But now I feel like I'm ready for this. It's a really proud moment for me and my family, and hopefully it can be a very successful time for us. He didn't have to sell me anything really, but I was just about to go out for some food with my wife at the time, and I had a call and I said, "Sorry, love, I'm gonna have to take this." So I took it, and he said then that he wanted me to be the captain. So obviously, that meal tasted a little better, but I think it was a very proud moment for me, and I was just grateful to have that opportunity again to take that role up. So we have a lot of players in this team who are natural leaders, and of course we're going to need every single player to be able to do the things that we want to do, and for them to bring their own leadership qualities as well. So, but for me to be given that opportunity from him, is a dream come true again.
I'm getting lost in those. They are, aren't they? They are. How big a job has he got now, stepping up?
Oh, it's massive, isn't it? It's massive. But like we know, he last had the captaincy when he was 20 years old, and was he 32 now? So he's had a lot of experience since then. Maybe watching Gareth Bale and being a part of a team that's gone to so many, 3 tournaments now. It's a big step up for him. But I think he seems confident, doesn't he, in thinking that he can lead this team to another tournament.
Just keeping everything crossed. Literally everything crossed.
I wonder if he remembers what it was like being 20 and being asked to captain your international team. And now he's 32, he's had all that experience. He's going to be a better captain.
Yeah, and I think it'll mean a lot more to him now than it did when he was 20, because when you're 20, you just come on the scene, you haven't really made your path in football yet. So when he gets that honour now, I think he'll take responsibility a lot more, and I think it'll be brilliant for him.
Cool.
I think especially, now he's got children and a family as well, like he's mentioned, he can share that with his children. But do you think that was the right decision to appoint him as captain?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us wanted Ben Davies, but with Aaron Ramsey in the squad, it is a tough decision for Rob Page to choose between the two. And, Ramsey's got all of that experience behind him. He's probably one of the best players I've seen for Wales. And he's from Caerphilly, so I'm a little bit biased, but, from around the corner from me. So you know, I think he's got what it takes to lead the squad and to share his experience. And then obviously he can pass on the reins when he does, you know, hang up his boots eventually. But I'm glad he hasn't yet. I'm glad he's one of the ones.
I'm glad. But
yeah.
I don't think he was the right choice.
Don't you? So do you believe Ben Davies should have been?
No.
No? Who do you think?
I was rooting for Joe Roden.
Okay.
Joe Roden will be captain.
Yeah.
He's still so young.
That's the only thing I would say. I think you can still go Ramsey now, and there's still time for Joe to do it. So I do think, and Ramsey was vice captain, wasn't he, under Bale?
Yes.
So I just think it's a natural progression to go with that. And then, but I do think Joe Roden, future captain of Wales, 100%.
Yeah, and I think, well, Ben Davies is now vice captain.
Yeah.
Which again, that'll be a natural progression. I can definitely see Ben Davies as captain in the future as well.
Yeah, and I think it's nice for the careers that them two have had club-wise as well. To captain your country is a massive honour. So I would like to see Ben get it at one point as well.
Yeah.
Do you think Aaron Ramsey getting the job is going to get just a little bit more out of him?
Yeah.
You know, because in some of the games that I saw in the qualifiers, he looked as if he was a little bit injury prone and whatever. But I think he's settled down now playing regular games in France, and I just think they might just get a little bit more out of Aaron Ramsey, and we know he's a phenomenal player. And you want that in your team.
But I want 2016 Aaron Ramsey. I'm very picky because 2016 Aaron Ramsey was different planets. You know, there's a reason why he was named in team of the tournament at the end of the Euro 2016 and not Gareth Bale, because everybody recognised, Christ, this guy's amazing. But I don't know about basketball because that was a long time ago.
It was actually, wasn't it?
It actually was a long time ago. Wow.
But another one I wanted to mention actually, because we've spoken a bit about the new players coming in, and there's been a lot of talk about Paul Mullin, of course, from Wrexham. What are you guys' thoughts on having him as part of the squad? You know, he's not in this squad. Rob Page hasn't ruled him out for the next block in July or June. Do you think he should be in the squad?
See, for me, I would put him in 100%. I just think, you know, people go on about the level that he's playing at, but if you watch a game of football, you can see someone who's got talent and got ability.
This is Scousers United, isn't it? That's what this is.
A little bit. But I just think that, you know, he's got 31 goals this season. He's done it season after season with Wrexham. He's had the FA Cup games where he's played against teams from the higher level, and for me, being one of the best players on the pitch. So it's not as though you're just seeing him, you know, saying, oh, he plays in the conference, because I think wherever you play, if you score goals, you know, you're going to score goals wherever. You're playing with better players, okay, you're playing against better defenders, but you've still got better players setting you up and putting you in positions, and for me, I would have him in this squad 100%.
If he was playing for Cambridge in the league and scored 30 odd goals at this time of the season, you'd whack him in straight away, and he did that, what, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, he did,
I definitely think that goal scorers, well, you know Lee, don't you? It's the hardest thing in the world to do, score goals. And if he can do it, then...
I'm totally going to disagree with you there. Scoring goals is really easy. I've seen him do it. Makes it look bloody stupid.
It's getting a bit harder.
I don't know about Paul. This is bloody Ryan Reynolds' fault.
It is, isn't it?
It's all his fault.
What would your argument be against for it then?
Against
would you have one?
It's unfair because of where he is. He's dropped down deliberately because he's bought into the dream and the family's nearby and everything. His circumstances are different. You know, nobody takes into account, I think, a player's personal circumstances when they look at the signing. So I think that's kind of the issue. He's obviously below his level. Yeah. So if he was higher up, then there would be no question at all. So,
but then I think if you look at players higher up, have probably scored less than half than him.
Yeah.
And they would be in the squad. So I would always just judge it on someone's ability and what they do on the pitch. And I think especially international football, you give him a call up and you give him a couple, and if he doesn't do it at that level, then at least you know. But we're all sitting here now saying we think that he could do it. And the only way to find out is like you said before, you've got to go and play him. And he's at an age where he's not a younger kid, so I think he's ready to come in and you know, make a big impact.
He'd accept the pressure a lot easier at his age now than when he was a kid. But he's done it at Cambridge. He went to Cambridge and scored 30 odd goals in the season. So, and that was in the league. So,
and he scores all sorts of goals.
And you know what? It's not only his goal scoring; it's what he does off the ball. The amount of work that he puts in, the amount of running. I just think he is an all-round player. With the goals added on top of that, I think it's a no-brainer.
Well, what do you think then on the comments then on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube? Then we've had a few comments, which I will get to right now. Stefan Del Piero Hag says, Lee Trundle, what a legend. He also says, Ollie Cooper probably will start because he's always finding them passes around the box and he can finish then. Ollie Cooper.
Yeah, same again. Like I said before, he's been excellent for us. For me, one of our best players at Swansea this season. Was unlucky to miss out on the World Cup squad, but I think he's one of them where we talk about Joe Allen going, I think that he can come in and be a player as big as Joe Allen. I honestly do. I think the ability that he's got is work rate, you know, a down to earth lad like Joe as well, like the the boy next door type. He's just, you wouldn't know he was a footballer if you didn't see him on the pitch. Just a lovely kid, and I think he's going to have a massive future for Wales.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely pleased to see him now finally as part of the squad, and yeah, it's exciting to see where you can go.
So comments then on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, then we'll read them out if they are any good or if you make any sense at all. You are watching Welsh Football Fans live across Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. I am Alex Feeney and she is Gabriella Dukes. And what are we doing?
Well, I want to talk about David Brooks firstly.
Oh, David
because,
Brooks!
Of course, he's had a heck of a journey, hasn't he, bless him. But he's coming back stronger than ever, and of course yesterday scored a hat-trick for the development team at Bournemouth, and what a way to kickstart your career again, and hopefully we'll see him back at some point this year as well, because he's such a talented player.
I didn't realise it's been like 2 years. It's just like, I only feel like it's been months, but it hasn't, and this all came about. The condition was spotted while he was on Wales camp. And then it was kind of like, oh, everything just stopped. And the fact that he's fought his way back from there, it's amazing.
And that's it, the same again for him. Every second on that pitch, he'll cherish, because what he's been through, he's probably sat there at one point and think, will I ever play football again?
Yeah.
So every time he gets out on that pitch, and you see he comes back and he does what he done with the hat-trick, and, hats off to him, brilliant.
He's going to get such a reception from the Welsh supporters.
Yes.
It's going to be emotional.
Yeah, it is.
He's had it
not a
from
dry eye.
every club that he's played, even the opposition fans, know. And I think he deserves that.
Yeah.
He's done really well to get back in already. I don't know how he's done that.
We're looking forward to seeing that. Dave, we'll welcome you back. If you want to come on and talk about it, you can come on and talk about it. We'll talk about it with you. No problem with that. Yeah. Right, good, excellent. Okay then, any more on the comments? Oh, Dave Roberts, top bloke, says, Dave Roberts' brother, mother. No, Clive Evans says that. Lydian Jones says Luke Armstrong is going to be the next Wales #1. Saying that, I think we should be picking Nathan Shepherd ahead of Tom King. So a couple of additions to the squad then over the past few days or so, with one or two people dropping out.
There's been so many additions. I think that's only a positive as well, isn't it? Because we've always struggled with the strength and depth in the Wales squad, but to see so many talented young players coming through, and even people complaining that these other ones should be coming through. I think Aaron Collins was another one that fans have mentioned that they think he should be in the squad. But yeah, the other ones coming through, of course, Liam Cullen from Swansea and Morgan Fox from Stoke to replace Ben Davies, as Ben Davies, of course, injured. And Mark Harris from Cardiff. Tom Bradshaw, another one. It's 5 years since he got called up for the first time, so it's great to see him back. He's had an incredible season for Millwall. He won Championship Player of the Month in February, so it's great to see him finally back in the squad. He's 30 years old now, so it's been a while. He's 30, yeah. Wow. So wonderful to see him back, and hopefully he gets that chance. And yes, that's the thing as well with calling up all these players. Doesn't mean they're actually going to play or to start, and hopefully some of them do get that chance.
I'm still getting over the fact that he's 30.
30, yeah.
I'll tell you who I saw a couple of weeks ago. So a couple of weeks ago, I was at Preston North End versus Cardiff, because my boy is a Cardiff fan and he's allowed to go to one away game per season. He gets it for his birthday, and we went for Preston this year. And we were sat there and we were watching the team warm up and everything, and everything was that. And then all of a sudden, I heard a very old familiar name, Ben Woodburn. Ben Woodburn was on the side for Preston. I was like, oh, hello. This would be interesting then, because he's like just read from view. Maybe this was outside chance. So I was on the text to the FAW, to our mate at the FAW, Rob, going, if you need a match report, I'm here. All right, don't you worry, I'll sort it. And then after about 30 minutes, I went, yeah, it's fine, Rob, don't bother. And it's like, because he spent 30 minutes, he shanked one shot, he fouled somebody badly for no reason whatsoever in midfield, and then he spent the rest of the time on the pitch just watching the ball just go past him this way and that way, this way and that way. And when he went off, I didn't realise. It took me 10 minutes to realise that he wasn't on the field anymore. And I thought, what's happened there?
That's the thing about football, isn't it? Because when he first come on the scene, we're thinking he's the next big thing, you know, a great talent, some of the stuff he was doing. And that's the hard thing. You can look at it and say, oh, you know, they've got the ability, but then it's about how you use it and how you push on. And it's sad because he had such a big name, and we thought that he was gonna be a massive player for Wales.
Yeah, because Liverpool were without mentioning the word Liverpool, they were coveting it.
Yeah, he was our youngest goal scorer. He scored against Leeds that night. I thought that was it. You know, Welsh international, playing great for Liverpool. This is it. Like, he's on the up.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think it was like a year or two later, poof, gone.
But you desperately want him to come back, you know, learn by it and come back.
Well, I was saying that I was rooting for him. I'm not really a big Cardiff fan anyway. I've suffered them for years. About anybody else, actually. Really, but I was sitting there, I was like, come on, Ben, come on, do something. Yeah. Come on, give me something, something. And then I just looked back at the pitch at one point and went, oh, he's gone. Oh.
I guess that's just the way it is, isn't it? It's unpredictable. You can never tell how someone's career is going to go. But you know, hopefully this year, you know, these young players can, you know, help us get to.
It is a bit difficult though, because I was reading the story about Dele Alli.
Oh
yeah.
And that's another one. I mean, he was the big thing in English football, wasn't he? And he's out in Turkey now, and their managers bombed him out.
Yeah, well, he's at Everton as well, so my boy team, my support, and same again, he went there and never done anything. But then there's a bit in the Tottenham documentary where Mourinho brings him in the office and speaks to him about it. And this is when he was still sort of, you know, a sort of biggish player for Tottenham, and he spoke about that. You can go one way or the other. And then, you know, sadly, it's went the
But you want them to come back when you're 27, 28, I've learnt now. Yeah. I know what it's all about, and then come and do it.
And because you know the ability that they've got something to offer if they apply themselves right.
Right, well, you are watching Welsh Football Fans live on Facebook, YouTube, and indeed the Twitter sphere. Now, coming up, we've got some very, very exciting stuff. We've got a sneaky peek. It's not by accident that Dave Roberts and Lee Trundle are here this evening, all right? We don't just grab them off the street. Oh, happens to have just stumbled across Dave Roberts and Lee Trundle. No, they're here because the next phase of Red Wall Plus content is about to drop. And we've got sneaky clips of some of the stuff that's coming up. Okay, very excited. So if you watched any of the Red Wall on tours that we did last year, it was like, where were we? We were somewhere in.
Oh my gosh, where were we? We're everywhere.
You're back in the woods.
We were in Trevelyan, and yes,
and you saw a little clip there, and you've actually now seen your Magic Daps, the film. Look at the smile. Don't talk about it yet because we're going to talk about it in a bit. So we've got exclusive clips from both Magic Daps and the Forgotten Team of 76 coming up later on in the programme. But first, Rupert Vyers isn't here by accident either. Although it would have been more explainable if she had been just like wandering past, because she gets everywhere. Quite
You're a busy girl.
Yeah, you are a busy girl.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
We launched, I think it was a month ago today, we launched a partnership, Her Game 2 and Welsh Football Fans.
Yes.
So now we are officially committing to promoting women's football and just women in football as well, you know, the likes of Gabriella and everyone else who's doing amazing things in football. So,
well, for people who maybe, I don't know, if they don't know what it is, I don't know where they've been, but if they don't know what Her Game 2 is, can you just tell us a bit about, you know, why you started and the background behind, well, Game He Hefyd as well, the Welsh branch of it as well?
Yeah, so Her Game 2 started May 2021. Yeah, we're in 2020. So just under 2 years ago. And 12 football fans, female football fans, decided they'd had enough of the sex of them that they receive online and in the stadium, in the pubs as well. So yeah, they put together this campaign, and now it's grown to almost 100 ambassadors, covering all over the country. We're in France now as well, which is insane. And then Game He Hefyd, Her Game 2 Cymru launched on St David's Day this year with the help of Welsh football fans, just because I wanted to shine a bigger spotlight on Welsh football.
It's a movement, isn't it? It's a safe space, it's a movement, there are lots of these things, but basically it's like, just respect the women. It's not that hard.
It's a simple thing, yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah, I mean, we have ambassadors for clubs, so they represent, the female fans of their clubs, so people can go to them and take reports to the clubs if there's any incidents. And, they're just a person you can talk to, friendly people. We're all really nice and approachable. And, yeah, we're creating safe spaces. We've got Her Game 2 pubs. So if you go on our website, you'll find a local pub who are committed to showing women's football. Staff are trained on sexism, so you shouldn't receive any there, but if you do, they will help you. There's reporting posters there, so you can report discreetly. And yeah, we're just trying to cover all bases, to be honest.
And you're doing an incredible job. Of course, you've announced a partnership with Wrexham today as well, isn't it? Which is massive, because they got a massive game on Sunday, record-breaking game for the women as well. Was it over 6,000 tickets sold?
Yeah, so far. Tickets are only £1, so they're still available. But they're actually dedicating their entire weekend to the men's fixture on Saturday against York and the women's fixture to Her Game 2, which is really nice. It's great to have the support of the likes of Rob McElhenney, who helped me put together the partnership. So yeah, just really appreciate that. Just drop that. And yeah, we also announced the partnership today with Yma Cymru, the South Asian Welsh supporters group. So we're going to work on, they've done a few events already for women, South Asian female fans. So we're going to work together on that around the internationals as well. So
good.
Yeah, really exciting times.
Oh, it is exciting times. Yeah. It is, yes. Yeah. And that's not even it.
Yeah, that's not actually.
Look at that. There's more. There's even more. There's even a vodka.
Yes. Yeah.
Look at that.
It's a really nice vodka bottle.
It is a nice vodka. Look at that. Yes. Yes. So that's a special edition Wales Away vodka. Then it's Welsh Football Fans and Her Game 2. You can find the details if you go to Her Game 2 socials. You will find a link to where you can get that. There are very limited numbers. Very limited numbers of that available, but it's a beautiful bottle and it's a beautiful drink. And £5 from the sale of every bottle goes towards supporting Her Game 2 and women's football as well. So it's a great vodka with a great cause.
Amazing stuff. And if anyone wants to get in touch with you girls about anything, whether they want to report something, how do they do it?
Yeah, so you can report on our website, hergame2.co.uk/report, or on our socials, hergame2, or if it's Welsh football, HGT Cymru. And yeah, or you can approach us individually as well. We're all over socials, so you're not going to miss us.
See, I have mixed feelings. Because one, I'm happy that you're here and I'm happy it's a thing. But two, why does it have to be a thing?
Yeah, I agree. It's amazing what you're doing, but it shouldn't have to be.
It shouldn't have to be. But there we are.
Hopefully we don't exist in a few years. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Then let's move on, shall we? Let's move. Thank you very much for that. And let's talk. Let's now go on to Red Wall Plus. Now, for the uninitiated, Red Wall Plus was launched amid great fanfare just before the World Cup last year, and then the World Cup happened, and then we didn't talk about it because it's just a bit awkward. But Red Wall Plus is a streaming platform. It's in partnership with Eastleigh Media and the FAW, and it has just a whole smorgasbord of brilliant documentaries and football club profiles. There are coaching masterclasses on there are music videos, everything is tied in with Welsh football. It's an absolutely blinding platform. It is the Netflix of Welsh football. They do live games on there as well. So the Gennaro Adran Trophy final was on there, live streamed on there last weekend. This weekend, the Wales under 21s versus Scotland under 21s. That's going to be live streamed on Red Wall Plus this weekend, and it's free. It is free. All you need to do is sign up, get an account, and off you go. And there's some amazing stuff in it, including Magic Daps. Now we contacted you. I can't remember how far ago it was. It was a while. Yeah, it was. Let's call it a while. So first thing you said was Red Wall what? And then the next thing you went, a film, you say? And then the next one, we were sat at the Swansea City Stadium, and you were just chatting about your career, and we've got everybody. Everybody's talked about you. Brian Flynn's in there, Leon Britton's in there, Alan Curtis. It's been emotional.
Yeah, and as it's been great as well. Obviously, I've just watched it myself, then seen the finished bit. So it was a proud moment looking back on it and having a little piece on myself like that. Because I remember when I first started off at Real, where I lived in Liverpool, we had a portable TV up in the bedroom, and you could get S4C if you turned the aerial the right way. So I was used to watch it. It was goal at the time, so I'd watch my goals on a bitty, portable.
Yeah.
So to come now and have my own little documentary, it's a lovely feeling.
Well, it's been an absolute joy to make. We've really enjoyed it. Luke is the editor of it. Is he gone? Is he run off? He's hiding in the back there. He was terrified because I know you and Luke have been talking and WhatsApping and everything, but of course he didn't know what you thought of it until you just sat down over there. You're one of the first civilian outside of this office, and one or two people at the FAW who's actually seen it. We've got a clip for it. Dave, roll clip.
First impressions, he come to training. We done the bleep test. I think it was the first session he come was a bleep test, and I looked at him and I was thinking, is he gonna be the first one to drop out here? Because he wasn't in the best of shapes coming back from a summer. But in fairness to him, he got quite far in the bleep test. But then listen, when we got the balls out, you see straight away in his first training session, his ability, his skills, his finishing quality, and we was like, wow, we've done well to get him, because Wrexham had just been promoted as well. So for him to stay in League Two as it is was a big signing for us.
I only signed a year contract at the start because I didn't know whether I was going to like it, but within 3 months I'd signed another 2-year extension, because I knew just living in the city, being with the people, being out and about, and them speaking about the football club and what it means to them, it was a place where I wanted to play my football.
That was always a thing then, wasn't it? How thick can you get your time?
The bigger the better, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that was so. What was it like then? So, like, you turned up down at the Vetch Field then, and we were talking about because Brian Flynn was a big part of that.
Yeah.
And you turned up down at the Vetch Field, and then what are first impressions?
Well, I think for me, I'd already played there for Wrexham in the Welsh Cup final the season before, so obviously knew a bit about the going to the Vetch. It was a hostile ground to visit, so going playing for them, it was a great environment. And for me, I think obviously me coming through the non-league, starting on grassroots football, so playing open men's football, amateur, going to non-league and then seeing them stadiums, and then coming to the likes of Wrexham, the racecourse, or the Vetch, which is an iconic stadium. It was brilliant for me to go and play at them, so I just loved every minute of it. And especially starting off as a pro, I used to love going to different grounds to see the stadium and to play at them, and it was all, as I said, a massive adventure for me and something that I loved.
Have you got any tops that aren't brown?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Okay, checking. I was just checking. Just coincidence. That's okay. It's all right. Just like opens his wardrobe in the morning. Just which brown? From cream all the way to chocolate.
But of course, you're known now as, not only a Swansea legend, but you could say a Welsh football legend. You've spent most of your career here at Wales. You still go in, still play in. What is it about Wales that you love so much?
Yeah, it's a place that, as I say, going to Wrexham and then moving to Swansea, the people just accepted me straight away. Me football, I really enjoyed that. Obviously, me time at Swansea was me best in my football career, and just me life off the field as well. It's a lovely place to live, and as you say, still playing in the Welsh League. I'm at Ammanford now, at Llanelli, over 40s vets, over 45s vets. So wherever there's a game, I just love being out there playing, and if you can still play, I think you've got to go on and play for as long as you can, because there is going to be a time when you can't do it anymore. So I'm just trying to squeeze every second out of it that I can.
Dave, almost forgotten you were here. See, told you it was going to be a running gag. Why are you still playing? Just saying.
Talk to my knee, mate.
Yeah.
I got a magic ball.
I've heard that.
You've got one, have you?
Oh, I hear that, brother. Yes, I do. Yes.
And it's not your own, is it?
No.
No, and you know it's not your own.
No, because it's just a bargain toe, could go at any point.
It affected my pace. That's what I
Yeah, it never affected mine.
No,
I was never that quick enough to have pace. But yeah, I do know what you did. But I mean, following someone like Lee's career, what he brought to the game, football is screaming out for characters like Lee, because otherwise it's really dull at times. So to have somebody who still plays the game like they're still playing it in the street, how important is that? How valuable is that to the game?
It is for strikers. Yeah, I was a defender, so I used to try stopping Lee from scoring. But I just take it, the whole game has lost its edge now.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of cheating in football, which, you know, I mean, they go back to our days and, oh, we never cheated or whatever. There were one or two rolling around or whatever, but they got up straight away. Otherwise, teammates would be pointing it out to them. But that is one of the things, and referees and linesmen at the moment are not my favourite either. And I think, you know, there was a couple of things that went on at the weekend. One of my old teams, Fulham, they had a guy sent off.
Oh yeah, the 90 seconds of madness.
But the referee started. The manager of Fulham started it.
Yes.
He started it. He got sent off. Then the centre forward went off.
Yes.
And then the guy who did the handball. He was the third one to go. And it's things like that. It never used to happen.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying there as well, Dave, definitely when you played and when I was first starting up, it was if someone kicked you, don't let them know that they've hurt you.
Yeah.
You know, it was more get up. So you'd be getting them going, like trying to pretend that you're not hurt.
Yeah.
Where now, I think you've got to pretend you're hurt to get a free kick or to get someone booked. Because if you get fouled and stay up, you don't really get the free kicks. And I think that adds to it, where you'd have people rolling around and lying on the floor because it's part of the game.
They scream. And you think, well, yeah, you've got to get a stretcher on here, you've got to get them off to hospital. Then 2 minutes later, they're running around like demented fools. It's just plain cheating.
Yeah.
But is that the players or is that the refereeing standard?
I think it's a bit of both. I would say both.
Yeah.
It's hard to see who
So that's the answer to that question.
What we need is a return to the 70s. That's what we need. What we need is return to a time where if you got kicked, you went and you kicked them back. Because if you didn't kick them back, they came and kicked you again because they thought you got away with it.
Yeah.
And that is a seamless segue into the forgotten team.
It's what they used to call get your retaliation in first.
Yes, exactly that, yes. 76, The Forgotten Team, another documentary exclusively on Red Wall Plus. And we've got a clip, and this clip is brilliant, and it hasn't even made it into the documentary. This is unseen then. This just gives you a little flavour of what this documentary is about.
We've had little discussions, haven't we, beforehand? I think this really is comedy, not comedy gold, but coaching gold. On my international debut, I played against Poland in the World Cup in Cardiff. Mike England was injured, so I got selected by Dave Bowen, and we were in the hotel about 6 o'clock, and he was giving us our final team meeting, and his words to me, the only thing I can remember him saying to me was, or saying to the team is, boys, I want you to treat the ball like you treat your wife. Kiss it, cuddle it and caress it, but don't give it away. And that was his coaching. And that has stuck with me for 50 odd years. Yeah, those words resonated with me throughout the whole match. And by the way, I didn't kiss, cuddle or caress the ball. I belted it as far as I could kick it.
So exclusive clip then. So that is The Forgotten Team coming to Red Wall Plus very soon then. Dave, why did we forget you? I don't understand how this happened, because I used to, many years ago, one or two people will remember, I presented a phone in and I presented with Leighton James.
Yeah.
And every time 58 came up, I would see him bristle, physically bristle, and go, 76. And he would do it every single time, and we'd all be like, all right, yeah, okay, yeah. Why did we forget? How did we forget?
I spent a lot of my time after that game. I lived up in Hull. I jumped in a car after the game. I'd seen a lot going on, and there's a bit in there about a copper getting stabbed with a corner flag.
With a corner flag, yes. Yeah.
But I saw a guy, I don't know if you know him, Jeff Bray, scored a couple of top scorer one season down at Swansea, old teammate of mine at Oxford. And he was down at Swansea, and I got him some tickets for the game. He came up afterwards, he said, that was like watching a Hollywood movie. He said there was violence, more violence and more violence. I've never seen anything quite like it in my life. But I think they just went on to the violence. And we got banned and had to play that crucial game against Scotland up in Liverpool.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think on the day itself, we were the masters of our own destruction, really.
Yeah. So
as a team,
We're talking about the Yugoslavia game here, aren't we? We're talking about sort of we've gone through the qualifying stages. We were into because it was a different format. It was the whole tournament was a different format. There was home and away, and through to the quarterfinals. Yugoslavia, but that journey up to that point though, was amazing.
But we think we got judged on that final game though.
I think so. I think that's
what happened. I played my first game of the following season at Hereford. I was playing for Hull, and Hereford had just got into the Division 2 at the time, which is now the Championship. And I jumped into a taxi with a few of the boys. We'd just gone into town midweek, and we were stopping in a hotel. And I'm driving along, the taxi did a double take of me, and I had this blonde hair that used to be down on my shoulder, and you Dave Roberts? And I went, yeah. Bearing in mind I'm in Hereford, and I'm a Hull City player, I recognise you. You played against Yugoslavia, didn't you? And I went, yeah. That was like a film. I've never seen a game quite like that in all my life.
And now it is a film.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Edited by our very own talented Dave. What's his name?
Just Dave. He just goes by Dave.
By Dave.
But regardless of what happened in that match, surely we should still be recognised for getting to the quarterfinals of a European Championship.
Yeah, I think so. But what irks me a little bit more, I was a little bit of a bit player because I got injuries. Playing centre half, I used to get a lot of injuries, and I played in 3 or 4 of the games. But you've had Leighton James. What a star he is. Another little story, I was at Lantwick Major, where we live, and I was with my grandson, and Leighton had pulled in to watch the game where Lantwick, you've played there, haven't you?
I played there last, I come off injured there on Saturday.
And Leighton walked round. But somebody told Leighton I was behind the goal with my grandson, and Leighton walked round, and how are you doing? And we had a chat and whatever. My grandson said, who's that? And I said, he was our equivalent of Gareth Bale from the present day team. He was that good. I don't know if you
I've seen many clips of him.
Yeah. He was just phenomenal. And Tosh, another one, Terry Yorath, John Mahoney.
Yeah, you go through the team and you're like,
Leighton Phillips,
God,
Thomas,
that's an amazing team.
Di Davis. I mean, all legends of football.
And you wore the sexiest football shirt there has ever been.
It's iconic, isn't it? It's probably the most iconic Welsh shirt.
It's absolute filth. And it's still, but it lives on to this day. It's still, people are still wearing it. And I've got to ask, was it an itchy one? Was it itchy? Because it feels like that was a really rough shirt.
No, fine. It was. They were a little bit bedraggled.
Oh yeah.
And a bit long.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't like them at the time, and it took me 50 years to get used to it. Since all the people now started wearing it and wearing the bucket hats. And my daughters, they go to international matches with me, and they wear them. And people are like looking at them. We've got numbers on the back as well. It's just iconic. And that's made me feel really proud that my daughters, wear it.
Class.
Have you still got an OG one, an original shirt? Have you still got one?
They wear the originals.
They wear the originals. Oh my word!
Incredible.
Oh, you must like your daughters.
No.
Wow.
So I can't afford the real one.
Oh, that's fabulous. So that is The Forgotten Team then. It's another documentary coming to Redwall Plus then, along with Magic Daps, along with, Goal Rush. Ian Rush's Greatest Goals with Ian Rush and Neville Southall and Mike Bubbins. It's absolutely just like chef's kiss. It's that good. It's absolutely brilliant. And there's a Sophie Ingle documentary as well by you.
By me. I can't wait for everyone to finally see it. I'm excited.
What's it called?
It's called Sophie Ingle, Ice and Fire.
Ice and Fire. Oh. You went up to Chelsea to chat to her?
Yeah, do you know what? That was an incredible experience to chat to Sophie and follow her around for a few days. Chat to Emma Hayes, who is incredible. She is incredible.
The Chelsea women's manager.
Chelsea women's manager. She's phenomenal. We also had Laura O'Sullivan, of course.
Yes, of course.
Goalkeeper, and we also chatted to Sophie's mother as well, which was lovely. She was.
And you got to walk dogs.
We got to meet her dogs. I think that was the best bit.
I did say, did I not say, just put more dogs in it?
Yeah, everyone loves dogs. I think they make the documentary.
They really do. They really do. But Sophie's also great in it as well.
Yeah, and Sophie.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's coming to Red Wall Plus as well. Dave, you are the only civilian that has seen the Forgotten Team outside of these walls.
Oh, stum. I'll keep quiet.
But if you could sum it up in 3 words.
Not 3 words. No.
Okay.
It would take a few more than 3 words.
Okay.
No.
Without giving the plot away.
It was great.
Put that in quote marks and everything. Dave Roberts, it was great.
We love it.
There we are. Right, I think we should wrap up. I think we should. We're done.
Yeah,
Please go to redwoodplus.wales, where you can sign up to Red Wall Plus and see some, amazing content. This stuff that we're talking about here isn't even out yet. That's still to come. On Red Wall Plus right now, there's gorgeous things. There's stuff about Wales shirts on there. There's the road to Qatar. We were all really positive and upbeat and bright and happy and enthusiastic and inspired. And there is also a load of coaching masterclasses on there. Oh, and there's the new backroom staff for Rob Page.
It is, yeah. Of course, we've got a new coaching team in. Of course, Nick Davis, who's from Port Talbot, by the way, where I'm from.
Yeah.
And
it's funny actually because he said, I'm from Port Talbot, it's where Gabriella Dukes is from.
He did indeed, yeah. That's on Red Wall Plus, so go and have a look. But yeah, of course, Eric Ramsey as well, who's a coach at Man United, isn't he? So it's exciting times, I think. It's a new era, new coaching staff, talented coaching staff. So yeah, go and check it out. It's all on there.
redwallplus.wales. Also, don't forget to follow us on socials then, at WelshFootball_ on Twitter and Instagram. It's just Welsh Football Fans on Facebook. It's been an absolute joy. Lee Trundle, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
River Bias, absolute joy, a pleasure, and movement. And Dave Roberts, everybody. Dave Roberts, well. You have been watching Welsh Football Fans. It is an Eat Sleep Media production then across Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, and we will catch you next time. Cheers, bye everyone!
When I was going to football back in the days, there was, nothing around like, as in, t-shirts and things like that, or bucket hats, or, it was always like, you wore the Welsh shirt, if you could afford it, that type of thing, and that would be it. That was in the 90s when I was going, and that carried on. It wasn't a fashion thing then, but now wearing a retro shirt is a fashion icon now.
And there's more scope for individual artists like yourself, and being an individual artist to an extent, you don't need to sell 1 million.
Yn hanesyddol, yr chwaraeon Cymraeg yng Nghymru oedd y tîm rygbi. Mae hwnna rili wedi mynd. Ac ymhellach, tîm pêl-droed Cymru sy'n cymryd y fantol. Mae plethu'r iaith gyda pêl-droed cenedlaethol. Mae hwnna'n stori a hanner.
fire in the heart, ice in the mind. That's Sophie Ingle to a T.
She has that fire inside of her.
I think she's a bit of a silent assassin, really.
But she's a winner, and she is someone I always think you want in your dressing room.
She's really inspiring. She inspires me. I think she inspires every one of our team. We look up to her, and she is the leader of the group.
No, I never doubted my ability. I think if you go back to Liverpool, I think it was seven games, it was the 8th game I scored for Liverpool for my first goal. But I think the difference then at Liverpool, we were sort of winning and or drawing, so it didn't really worry me. But when you go 7 games for Wales without scoring and you're not winning, and that's when you start thinking. But I always believed in my own ability inside me. So once you get that first goal, you're off and running, you know. And I was really happy when I got my first goal for Wales.